Let's do it. All right, for number 1 and number 3. So this is going to be under MTS, Precal, homework. What section is this? 6? Okay.
What?
6.1.
Why is 6 period?
Homework 6.1. Okay.
I told you it was 6.1.
And then the questions, you're going to be doing 1 through 45. Okay. All right. So I'll be doing some of them. The rest are up to you, of course. All right. So with this, we're changing it from. So this is degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay? And so we're going to change this from degrees, minutes, and seconds into a decimal. Alright? It's pretty easy. All I'm going to do is divide this by 60 and divide this by 60 times 60, which would be 3,600. And when I do that, I get 47 degrees plus 0.26. So I'll get 47.26 degrees. Okay? So, again, let me show you how that works. I'm going to divide this by 60, and I'm going to add that to this divided by 3,600. Okay? So, I'm going to take 24, right, and divide it by 60. It equals, okay, and then I'm going to add that to 45 divided by 3,600, okay, and that's 4125. So that's 15.4125 degrees. And I want to double check that, make sure I'm correct. Yes, I'm correct. Okay. Next, number 5. I'm going to go the other way. Okay? I'm going to go the other way. The best way to do this, since I was dividing it, right? I was dividing it by 60. Now I'm going to multiply by 60, right? So I'm going to take 0.16 and times it by 60. Okay? So I get 0.16 times 60.
Dan, just let you know your calculator's not on camera.
Thank you. Is equal to 9.6. Okay? So that's going to be 9.6. So what that tells me is that I've got 9 seconds, or sorry, 9 minutes, and I have a 0.6 seconds. So what I'm going to do is multiply that by 60. In my head I can do that. That's going to be 36, but we'll just do it on the calculator. Yeah?
Can you tell us why you're doing 5 different from 1 and 3?
Oh, we're going backwards.
So,
because in 5, you're in decimal form, and we were trying to get to decimal form in 1 and 3. In 5, you're in decimal form, and you want to get to minutes and seconds. We're going to go backwards.
Can you tell us what you do in steps just one more time?
Yeah. Give me a second. So minus 9.
you're not in the camera again.
Okay, so now I have the 0.6, okay, times 60. I get 36. Okay, so that's going to be 36 seconds. And so what this turns out to be is going to be 23 degrees and 9 minutes and 36 seconds. And I want to double check and make sure that's correct. 9:36. Perfect, okay? And let me me finish this one, and I'll go back. I'll stop recording. Well, I can just explain one more time. All right, so when I'm doing this, okay, I want to divide this by 60. Okay, because how many seconds in an hour? How many seconds in a minute, right? But it's about the 360 degrees. Okay, so we've got 60 seconds in a minute, right? And so there's 60 minutes in a degree. Okay, so in 1 degree we have 60 minutes. In 1 minute we have 60 seconds. Does that make sense? So to change this minute into a decimal, I'm going to divide it by 60. But because we're changing the seconds, then it's 60 times 60, which is 3,600. Okay? So with seconds, I have to divide seconds by 3,600. So that when I'm doing that, this is how it looks. Plug it in my calculator, and it comes out to be these decimal points. Okay? If you look at this, you could get 15. 15 goes into 60 3 times, what, 4 times? Right? 15 and 15 is 30. Yeah. So 4 times, so this is 1/4. So that's 0.25. Right? And then this is just 1/100. And when I add those two, I get 0.26. Right? So 1/100 plus 1/4 or 0.25 is giving me 0.26. Does that make sense? Better? Okay. Better? No? Yes. Alright. So let's do this one. In this one we're going backwards. Okay? Instead of dividing it out, I'm going to multiply it to get back. I'm doing the opposite. Right? So I might as well get my minutes first. So I'm going to multiply by 60. So I'm going to take 0.2075 and times it by 60. Right? Hopefully this is still working. It is. It's almost dead though. So 0.2075 times 60 is 12.45. Okay? What that tells me is that I have 12 minutes. Okay? And 0.45 seconds, right? So to find the seconds, I have to take 0.45 times 60, and that's going to tell me how many seconds I have. Okay? So then 0.45 times 60, and I get 27. So I get 27 seconds. So what this is going to be is 4 degrees, 12 minutes, and 27 seconds. Does that make sense?
So on number 5, why did you do the 0.6 times 60? Why did you get the 0.6 from?
Oh, so when I multiplied this out, I got 9.6. So the 9 is in the minutes, and the 0.6 is in the seconds. 0.6 seconds. So now I got to change 0.6 seconds by multiplying it by 60, okay, to get 36 seconds. I feel like I said everything twice, but that's fine.
Don't you want to be able to say everything twice?
What I want you to learn it. I'm glad you're asking the questions, yes. But what I would really want is for you to pay attention the first time. Or maybe if I could teach it better the first time. How about that? That's what I'm saying. If I could teach it better the first time is what I really want.
I don't think it's you.
We won't need this until the second one. Alright, so these last two, before I gotta change the batteries. Alright, so this one, what's it want me to do? Number 9, it just wants the 6 trig functions. So we gotta remember SOHCAHTOA. So, SOHCAHTOA. Okay? Now, from that, we also have to remember that it's co or no co, right? So, with this one, sine goes to cosecant, and that's going to be h over o. Cosine is going to go to secant, and that's going to be h over a. And tangent's going to go to cotangent, good. That's going to be a over o. And that's a nice little thing to have on my cheat sheet, you know, just in one, so I know it all. If you memorize it, that's fine too. That'd be great. Right? SOHCAHTOA, and just know the other 3. Alright? And that's what they're asking for in 9. What they're asking for in 9 is to say, okay, I want all 6 trig functions. So, first, I have to know that this is the opposite. I have to know that this is hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse is opposite of the right angle, right? The opposite side is opposite of the degree, or the angle that we're talking about, in this case theta. And then the side that connects the right angle to theta, that's the adjacent side. Okay? And so from there, I should be able to do sine theta, cosine theta, tangent theta, and then cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta. Okay? And to do it, obviously they're all fractions. And then I can just put in my colors. Right? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite's red, so that's my square root. Right? Hypotenuse is green, square root 11. Okay? Now we're going to change them. I just want to get them out first. Okay, so then cosine is adjacent, right? So cosine is 3 over square root 11. And then the last one's opposite, which is square root 2 over adjacent, which is 3. Okay, and then these are just flipped. 3, 3, square root 2, square root 2, and then square root 11 and square root 11, right? And so now we got to actually kind of fix some of these. With this one, I have the square root of 2 over the square root of 11, which I have to multiply by the square root of 11, square root of 11. So that's going to give me the square root of 22 over 11.
So it would be like the same thing for the next side, though?
Yeah. Well, only if they're in the bottom. So with this side, it would be the square root 2, right? So what's 2 times this? It would be square root 22 over 2, right? Yeah. And then with this one, I mean, you can start doing these in your head pretty much, right? So this one's going to be 3 square root 11 over 11, right? And then this one is going to be 3 square root 2 over 2. You just move that thing up and leave the sign. Does that make sense? Just move this up and then leave what's in it down below. It's kind of easy that way. Is it still on? Yeah? Okay, we got one last thing. You want me to re-go over that real quick? Let me do this and then I'll re-go over that. Okay. Next is finding the sine of 32 degrees. Here's how you do it. Sine. And then 32. Hit equals. Wow, that was hard. Okay, so 0.5299. Okay, so if I were to round this off here, then that would be 0.523, or sorry, 5203, right? If I were to round it off at the 2, it'd be 0.53, or 52, or no, 53, right? But there was a 1 here, and so I rounded off that 1 to the 9 stayed the same. Okay? Alright, back to this. Do I need to explain this one more time? Are we good? 15 one more time?
I was still writing down 9 when you
So
said
sine
Yeah, it's just like
32 equals.
That's it?
That's it.
It's just like when you're doing logs, you put
So
it in
why
the
did you
calculator.
point, oh,
Yeah.
you're just pointing where you rounded off?
Yeah, just rounding off stuff. I mean, I know that this should be given by this time, but you never know. So, just making sure we understand that we got to round off. Sometimes they're going to tell you 4 decimal places. Sometimes they're going to tell you 3 decimal places. Just make sure you do it right. Does that make sense? We good? All right. Let's change the battery and get on to the hard stuff.